Hello everyone and welcome back to MMA Lad. In today's news, Ilia Topuria talks about his interaction with Paddy Pimblett at UFC London. At UFC London, Ilia Topuria and Paddy Pimblett had a brief interaction at the ceremonial weigh-ins. Pimblett walked over to Topuria and gave him a fist bump, something that surprised a lot of fans considering their history.
And he let on off. I was staring at him over there, and he looked at me and went, I saw that. Quite funny, as Ilia walked across here, he looked at me, I was looking at him and he'd done that. And then obviously on stage, as I walked past him, we both just like laughed and looked at each other. I thought it'd be quite funny to just go, and he went like that on me hand. And like high-fived it. We mightn't like each other, but had a little laugh.
Topuria later reacted to what happened. We just weren't in our fighting roles. I went to support a friend of mine. He went to support another friend of his. Then we met and we greeted each other. However, he made it clear that if they ever fight, things will be different. At the end of the day, we are athletes. But if we enter the field of combat and we have to fight, then the story changes. Could this be setting up a future showdown between these two? Only time will tell. But let us know how a fight between these two would go. Chael Sonnen does not think Pereira should rematch Ankalaev. MMA analyst and former UFC fighter Chael Sonnen has given his thoughts on a possible rematch between Pereira and Ankalaev, and he doesn't think it should happen. Sonnen broke it down in his usual no-nonsense style, explaining why a rematch just doesn't make sense right now.
Instead, we're going to rematch them, and I'm a very big Pereira fan, I must tell you, on a personal level, but also of his professional and his work inside the cage. I got to tell you, there was nothing within that first fight, whether there was illness, injury, or a combination of both. There was nothing about that first fight that would lead a reasonable analyst to believe you're going to have a different outcome in the second fight.
I was in Sydney, UFC 312. Pereira was there. We were all like, what is this guy doing here? He's doing about 300 dinners and appearances. And I mean, I don't know if that caught up with him. I don't know if it's the injury. Do you think he can regain the aura though? What do you think? And what would you do if there was an Ankalaev and you know, okay, this might be another tough fight for him? How do you spin this off to make the most of Pereira during a time where you don't even have people to headline, right? The UFC cards.
Well, and whatever we're supposed to see in that first fight, and that first fight was 4-1. I mean, it was 4 rounds to 1. It really was not overly competitive. There was some really well things done by Pereira, such as stopping the takedown. We didn't know that he had his ability. It was a pretty slow pace, and there wasn't a lot done. I'm just suggesting for you, there was nothing we saw that would make us think, even at a slow pace, even at a drawn-down, action-packed night or lack thereof, there's nothing to believe that rounds 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are going to be any different. And whatever it is that Pereira is supposed to have learned in that job experience, why would we not believe an equal amount would be learned by Ankalaev? Whatever we're supposed to believe that Pereira gained to do a better job next time, why do we not believe that Ankalaev also did? I mean, Ankalaev's the one that had his takedown stuff. So in theory, he's the one that would have felt and know where the adjustments are to get the big guy off his feet. And then once he gets him on the ground, I mean, it's going to be, I can't imagine that's where the judges are going to see it his way. I'm only telling you that it is a surprise, and I think that it's a risk. And the way we got Pereira to 205 pounds, it's contrary to what most people remember. Most people's minds have played a trick on him. People believe Pereira got to 205 because he cleaned out 185. And that is not accurate. He got beat. When he got beat at 85 and he no longer has the belt, he no longer has to stay as the head of the division. He is free like anyone else to go anywhere that he wants. So if we wanted to get him to heavyweight, it wasn't by beating Ankalaev, thus cleaning out 205. It would have been to get him beat, which we did. Our opportunity to bump him up, to be able to take on the winner of a Jones, Aspinall, or any which scenario that might go, be a backup fighter, or however you'd want to do that. But I think we can all agree that round robin is very fascinating. The way to do it has already been done, and I'm not certain we should not have taken full advantage. The fight was close. He stopped the takedowns. It added to the story. Let it go. There was nothing embarrassing about it. But if you rematch and you drop 2 straight, particularly if it's dumb, if it goes 4-1 like this one did, now we're talking about a combined 8-2. That's where some embarrassment does set in.
Of course, fans have mixed opinions on this. Some agree that Pereira should fight someone new, while others think he deserves an immediate shot after such a competitive fight. Either way, Sonnen's stance is clear. Keep the division moving forward. Let us know what you think about this immediate rematch possibility. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to support the channel. Vince Morales unsure about his future in the UFC. Another fighter facing uncertainty after UFC Mexico is Vince Morales. Morales lost his fight against Raul Rosas Jr. by unanimous decision, and unfortunately, that makes it his third straight loss. With 3 consecutive losses, Morales is now unsure whether the UFC will cut him from the roster. He admitted he's disappointed in his performance, saying,
So about last night, man, I'm upset. I don't know. Didn't do enough. I'm okay though. Like, no real damage. Nose opened up again, but day in the life. Dude did what he needed to do. I think we were both feeling the altitude a little bit or something. I just remember feeling heavy and slow. I don't know, could have been nerves too. Like, I trained good. I thought I acclimated just fine. I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't know what UFC's gonna do with me. I don't know. I clearly got some mental block or something on winning a close fight. I'll get to work on that. I don't know. I just wanted to say thank you everybody for the support. I really appreciate you. I'll get them next time. I don't know. One love, y'all. Peace.
Whether Morales gets another chance in the UFC or not, it's clear that he's determined to bounce back. Joe Pyfer swears he'll never return to Mexico after UFC Mexico disaster. One of the most unfortunate stories from UFC Mexico was Joe Pyfer's illness. Pyfer was scheduled to fight Kelvin Gastelum, but after weighing in, he got severely sick and lost a ton of weight overnight. Despite taking every precaution, including not drinking the water, he still got sick. As a result, he had to pull out of the fight, leaving Gastelum without an opponent. Pyfer later took to social media and made a bold statement.
Well, I wanted to jump on here and address what happened. So, I went to my team dinner. I did not drink the water. I hadn't drank the water the whole time I was out there. Went to my team dinner, had some food that was in a place that was supposedly trusted. And, yeah, a couple hours later, I had the runs. I think at least 10, 11 times. I went from, I think 209 pounds, something like that, as I was still hydrating, down to 194 pounds the morning of, with a puddle that I was sleeping in, a fever, nausea, obviously, like vomit, excruciating stomach pain, and yeah, the doctor didn't find it smart to go and fight. And the doctor, as well as I didn't find it smart to fight like that. And I know that's not what everybody wants, but I have to look out for me and my health and what's my best interest. Trust me, I am upset as well. You know, to make that weight, put my body through that, not get paid for it, go out there, spend a bunch of money, bring all my, you know, close friends and family out, and to not be able to perform. It's the first time it's ever happened to me, but I'm not regretful of my decision, and I'm proud of myself, proud of my decision, and you know, I live to fight another day, and what's meant to be is meant to be. And you know, our fight with Kelvin was not meant to be yesterday, and it is what it is. So and if you guys are one of those people out there spreading negativity like this hasn't been my whole life or everything that I've worked for, you can blow me. I don't give a about your opinions. And yeah, we march on. So after they called my fight, I hopped on a flight and back home. There's no way. Like, look, I believe I'm going to absolutely destroy Kelvin when I get the opportunity again, if you know, he accepts and we can run it back. I feel bad for Kelvin as well, you know. I didn't give that man a chance to make his money. I don't know if they'll take care of him or not, but you know, it's never my intention to leave somebody high and dry. We deserve to fight. It's an entertaining fight. It's a good matchup, and you know, he bangs, I bang, and you know, hopefully in the future we can run it back. But you know, sorry to my true fans that were excited to watch me fight. I was in the best shape of my life, and I couldn't wait to fight too. And yeah, man, thanks for all the love that I've gotten. I oftentimes focus on the negative, but I've gotten a lot of positive and a lot of love, and I appreciate you guys. I will be back as soon as I can kick this fever and cold or whatever the I have. I'll be back to training. But for now, You know, it still stings that I didn't get to fight, but the last thing I will address is I don't care if it's offensive to you. I will never go back to that country. I did everything right. I slept in a tent. I did all this work to still get sick. Some people are saying it wasn't the food, saying I got altitude sickness. I'm not a geographic elevation scientist, but I was told as long as I acclimated, which I did for 2 months, slept in a tent and on the floor, I did everything that I could to prepare. And if that's what altitude and elevation is, that country, I will never fight there again. Whole, not going back. Don't care if that's offensive to you. You're not the one fighting. Suck my balls.
Whether or not the UFC will book him in another Mexico event remains to be seen, but Pyfer is clearly not open to the idea. Aljamain Sterling thinks it will be difficult for Brandon Moreno to fight for the title. Former bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling has weighed in on Brandon Moreno's chances of getting another title shot in the flyweight division, and according to him, it's not going to be easy. After his recent win at UFC Mexico, it would appear that Moreno deserves an immediate title shot, but Aljamain doesn't think so. Sterling explained why he believes the UFC won't rush to give Moreno another shot.
I do think Brandon Moreno might need 1 or 2 more, because again, he did fight Pantoja about 4 or 5 times. I don't know how many times they fought, but you lose that many times to the current champ, it's going to be really, really difficult to entice the UFC to give you another crack at the title at the same guy who's holding the belt, who beat you multiple times. But you add in some of these new guys, you shake up the division a little bit. If Pantoja is to lose his belt, the door is wide open for a guy like Brandon Moreno. So all in all, great performance. I think B+, not being super critical of it. I just think there's shades of things he did well in a very one-dimensional fight, but things he could have taken from some of his previous fights, added it in, and even made it that much more of a shutout performance. I think leaving a little bit too much room for discussion where people were, I think there's some people crazy enough to say they thought Usyk won the fight. I'm just like, you're making my head hurt. Don't stress me out. Don't stress me out. It was a great fight. He fought well, he fought hard, but it wasn't enough to take the rounds. And in my opinion, the former champ did enough, more than enough, to get the job done. And again, these were close rounds. I'm not knocking Usyk whatsoever, but I'm just giving you my personal opinion. I do think Brandon Moreno was the rightful winner of that fight. You could maybe make an argument for 1 more round, but even that, I don't even know which round that would have been. All in all, I thought Brandon Moreno was doing a great job landing that right hand over and over again. And as he lands the right hand, he weaves out. This way, Usyk was throwing the left hook and missing him.
Do you agree with Sterling? Drop your thoughts down in the comments section. Michael Bisping goes off on Ariel Helwani. UFC Hall of Famer Michael Bisping is never shy about speaking his mind, and this time, he had some harsh words for MMA journalist Ariel Helwani.
I had a guy that was coming to mind for me. I was hoping you were going to say it, but you didn't say him, so we'll maybe give him a pass. There's a guy called Ariel Helwani. He got under my skin a little bit lately with Jake Paul, and I give him some stick because he needed a bit of stick, to be honest.
He's a total dickhead. He's definitely up there as well. See, I don't think about him, I was thinking about fighters. All he does is try and manufacture beef with other fighters, so it makes him look good and it keeps him current. All he does is hate on the UFC. That's like his whole MO. You know,
right, okay. Glad you've confirmed
the UFC.
I'm glad you've confirmed that for me. So he is the biggest knobhead in MMA pretty much then, but is he not in MMA, would you say?
He's not in MMA. He would love to be in MMA. Yeah. He's a journalist that covers the sport, and it's not even worth my breath, because he'll see this, he'll be like, oh, and he'll go and make an hour-long video out of it.
Yeah,
do you know
true.
what I mean? And like, oh my God, it's like,
yeah,
you're a
bit of relevance.
Yeah, exactly. You know, yeah, because I did a little video a while on my podcast. We were talking, and I made just a little bit of a joke. You know what I mean? Oh, Ariel knows everything or whatever. I forget what I said. And he started this whole beef, and then he started saying that I'd manufactured a beef with him to curry favour with Dana White because Dana doesn't like him. And I just ignored it because he wants me to bite, so I ignore it. And then he comes out and then he does another video how he's willing to settle the grudge with me, and I just ignored it again. I'm like, bro, there ain't no grudge. You're irrelevant to me. It is what it is. Do your thing. Good luck to you. Couldn't care less. Just shut up.
You know what? He did the same script with me about Jake Paul. Talked about me like I'm nobody, and I'm thinking, who the fuck are you? And then he goes on again, and I thought, you know what? I spoke to my producer. The best way to leave him is to just ignore him. So we've both done the same thing there. So let's not talk about the biggest knobhead, Ariel Helwani, in boxing anymore. In MMA, is he? I don't know if he's boxing MMA. What is he? He's a journalist. He calls himself a journalist anyway. But anyway, he's the biggest knobhead. Let's move.
The feud between Bisping and Helwani isn't new. These two have gone back and forth before, but this might be one of the most heated callouts yet. Who do you side with here, Bisping or Helwani? Meanwhile, do you think it's a good idea for Alex Pereira to rematch Magomed Ankalaev immediately, or just move up to the heavyweight division? And do you think Bruno Moreno deserves another title shot against Alexander Pantoja? Let us know what you think by leaving a comment down in the comment section. And if you enjoyed the updates, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily MMA news. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.